My name is Virginia Collins. This is my final observation video report. I chose topic number 3, multicultural education, and the group of questions that I'm answering are some people or groups valued over others, and are some individuals or groups ignored? When I arrived at the schools I was observing at, the school was inviting and the staff was very helpful in pointing me in the direction I needed to go. At one school, the buildings were clearly marked to help students know where to go. The neighborhoods of both schools were very concerned about each student having the opportunity to receive an education. One school was able to provide more for its students than the other because of being in a better socioeconomic area. In the elementary school that I observed at, there was an example of one student affected by autism, representing the disabled portion of the class, who was excluded from all activities that the other students were allowed to do in the music class. He was being ignored because, earlier in the year, his autism and obsessive-compulsive disorder caused him to throw a tantrum, and from that point on, he was ignored by the music teacher and was only allowed to sit in the back of the class with the individual class's teacher. When I spoke to the music teacher afterwards, she said that she found it completely unfair to the normal students that they had to share the teacher with a student who was disabled. I quote her in saying, "I wish students with disabilities weren't included with a normal class. I don't want them in my class. If there was a class that was geared specifically for those with disabilities, I would gladly teach it, but it's not fair for the normal students." In the middle school that I observed at, there was also one student in a class who represented the disabled portion of the class. The student was in a wheelchair and did not have complete control of his body. This did not stop the teacher from giving the student a small tambourine and encouraging him to play along with the other band students. Even when the student played while the band was not playing, he was not reprimanded. He was still encouraged to play. It's interesting to observe also that the situation where the disabled student was ignored was in the school that was socioeconomically better off, whereas the student that was included in the class and encouraged attended the school that was socioeconomically worse off. This was a surprise to me, as I thought that it would have been the other way around if it had happened at all. These situations show how some teachers aren't completely prepared to meet the needs of all cultures that they meet and teach in a multicultural society. This has taught me that teaching in a multicultural society isn't exactly easy. You may have to slightly alter your curriculum for one class period to be able to allow all students, even those that have disabilities, to participate.